Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's BooLin Sports here, bringing you the second video and the first video of the regular season for the 2020 NFL Houston Texans franchise with BooLin Sports and Bill O'Brien at the helm. I went around, and obviously you see we went and signed the most improved offensive lineman, because there's no really offensive lineman out there with a backstory that I can think of right offhand. But I went over and organized up the roster, so winning out the starting QB job was actually Johnny Manziel over Jalen Hurts. We have Alex Collins and Thomas Rawls being our two backs. You'll see where Ray Rice will play because he wasn't really that proven as a runner. And then Eddie Lacy will be back here down on the depth chart for power. We went up and signed Trey Madden and got rid of Ripkowski. We went and added Antonio Callaway, just because he's a player who in college struggled with drugs and then brought over to the NFL, and he also struggled with the same thing, and he ended up getting suspended, so he ended up being released by his team. So we have Kute as our number 1, Meredith as our 2, KJ Hill as our 3, and whenever Martavis Bryant comes back, I'm not going to give him a starting role right away, just like Tim Tebow. I want to see what they can offer once they come back from injury. And then Clive Walford came out and won the tight end starting job. We came in and signed second year Caleb Wilson just for depth purposes. And then on our defensive line, Malik Jackson was a late add. He's a guy that signed a huge contract to come over to Jacksonville and then just never panned out and had the same production he did with that year with the Broncos. We have Pat O'Connor at our number 2. We have Aldon Smith, who actually, I'm going to leave this up to you guys. Aldon Smith is going to get reinstated from what I've heard this year, and he actually agreed to a contract with the Dallas Cowboys on a 1-year $4 million, so that is actually very interesting. He hasn't played since 2015, so let me know if he should stay on this team or if Charles Harris should be his replacement. Charles Harris was a first-round pick by the Miami Dolphins. They've tried him at end. They've tried him at linebacker. I feel like he'd be better with his hand in the dirt for us, the 3-4. And then Rector beat out Cowser for our third defensive end spot. At cornerback, we added Josh Norman. Obviously, same thing as Malik Jackson. Signed a huge contract to play for a new team, and it just never panned out. Sharper will be our slot corner. He had a huge preseason, and the biggest preseason was probably by Damon Arnett from Ohio State, and he's going to be our number 2 corner. Moore Claiborne, he didn't do anything wrong, but I want to give the job to Josh Norman, and these 2 other players above him played better. And then Emerson just played horrible, but I want to keep him on this team. At free safety, we're actually going with Raheem Moore over Maurice Alexander. Alexander, with how much speed he has, just got burning coverage a lot, and I didn't like that. Malcolm Smith showed what he could prove to this team by filling valuable gaps and playing his role and living up to that Super Bowl 49 defensive MVP. We got LJ Fort and Kiko Alonso as our starting linebackers with Daddy Nicholas and Malcolm Smith to back him up. Then we have Burfict. Thank you in the comments for telling me to fix his name because I had it as Burflict. We got Daddy Nicholas backing him up. Stuart Cravens, he is going to be a guy that we watch because we can move a guy like Emerson in there or Jamal Showers that played very well. Before I get ahead of anything, I would like to shout out one of my buddies. He does a lot of the hockey content. He was a former lacrosse player at Siena Heights. His channel will be in the link down below, but his name is Orange De Juice YouTube. And like I said, he just started his channel up. He'll be doing NHL, hockey content, and I'm not sure what else, but I'd like to give him a huge shout out and appreciate everything he's doing. But for this game, so I'm going to go over what we're going to do with the people that made the 53-man roster. They're all going to get 2-year contracts, and so this whole 40 players to negotiate, that won't be there once the season starts. They'll all get 2-year contracts, and we will probably play one regular season game and sim the other one so we can get to next season and see how this team develops. So let's hop into this game against the Green Bay Packers, which means I will be simming against Kansas City Chiefs because I do not want to play against Patrick Mahomes. Alright, so we were heading into this game against an 82 overall Green Bay Packers. Let's view their superstar X Factors and their superstars. So at X Factors, they have Jair Alexander and Aaron Rodgers, with the superstars being David Bakhtiari, Devontae Adams, Kenny Clark, Zadarius Smith, Kevin King, and Blake Martinez. So this is going to be a very scary team. Do I think we come out with a win? God, no. Oh boy, here we go. Our first NFL game, our first regular season game with a new look Houston Texans, and we're starting out on defense with the ball. So for these games, I'm probably going to show you the whole game, and then when I sim the game, I'm going to go into the game and click the play the moments, and then just sim to the end so we can review the player stats. So let's start off in some man coverage, and I'm going to assume they're going to run it here, so let's get Malik Jackson stuff in the middle. And I did forget to go and do something, which was edit numbers. Like you guys said, Johnny Manziel should go back to number 2 instead of being number 3. So for this game, temporarily, they will just be their regular numbers, and they have the rookie Lavish Shenault probably being their first round pick, and that is a good stop by our defense. They are going to be held to about 3rd and 2. So let's keep this pressure up. Let's keep presence. Let's make Aaron Rodgers in this offense know that we are here and we are hungry. And that is not the ideal thing. So we're going to keep running this man. And I'm probably going to get pressure out of this edge because Bakhtiari will not give up anything. Oh, Christian wrecked. Oh no, it's Malik Jackson up the middle getting the sack. I knew Malik Jackson would find a place here. That is huge. See what Burfoot can do if we can keep this pressure. Come up, make the tackle. And that is Kiko Alonso. Kiko Alonso basically told LJ Fort, he says, I don't want to lose my starting spot to you. And Aaron Rodgers is already in the X Factor. Go figure. And I'm going to be expecting a lot of completions this game. But I'd rather play Rodgers than Mahomes, because Mahomes will just throw it deep to Tyreek Hill every play. And did we force a false start? Okay. Alright, we don't know who the penalty was committed on, but I'm going to say that was David Bakhtiari. And we were in man coverage on that. And Rodgers is driving down the field on our defense. They're not doing much in the running game. Alright, Rector. Cause havoc. Okay. We got about 6 yards. 5 yards. Alright, we're going to bring pressure. We're going to try to keep Rodgers as uncomfortable as possible in this pocket. Okay, there we go. Forcing an incompletion. You know, it's run the same, almost the same exact play. They're in a bunch formation. They're probably going to run a quick out. And Josh Norman could not force the incompletion on Devontae Adams here. So now they are in the red zone. Let's just hope they don't run it in. You know, let's hope they'll hold them to a field goal. And we force them to throw it out of bounds and lose 3 yards that play. So our secondary holding up there. No, we can only send 3. In Burflicht, we bring the pressure and it pays off, forcing another negative play in the backfield. Bringing it 3rd and goal on the 9. Let's run this cover 6 and see if we can force a field goal here.
infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck.
And he will get this.
Oh.
Touchdown, Green Bay. A 9-yard touchdown.
What happened? He went for the swat and
Right down the field and score.
he didn't front the ball. Oh, Arnett. And our starting quarterback comes out in Johnny Manziel. And we're going to start with a run. We're going to see if Ray Rice, actually, yeah, we're going to give Ray Rice the ball up the middle and see what he can do with it here. And that's what we're going to be seeing a lot, I feel like. Our offensive line is better, but it's not going to be that great. And this is why I asked you guys in the comments section, let me know if you like the quarter legs to be long, because that was a quick quarter. In no time. And Zadarius Smith gets after our quarterback. That's what's going to be tough against these superstar and superstar X Factor players. So on third down here, we're just going to try to get it to anyone. And, alright. So as you guys can tell, I'm very upset after I finished both of the first regular season games. And basically you guys saw one play on offense, and it did not fare very well. So obviously we did not win either game. This game we played through the whole thing. We were able to score one touchdown, and you'll see who actually scored the touchdown for us, because Johnny Manziel did not play well whatsoever in the first half, and we subbed him out for Jalen Hurts. In the second game, Johnny Manziel came back as the starter, and he put up 17 points. And we'll look over the stats right now. So for the Texans here, Jalen Hurts, he was 4 for 11 with 37 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. And Johnny Manziel, 2 for 9, 26 yards and an interception in the first half. You don't like to see those numbers. So we have a QB battle, and I would like you guys to leave in the comments, who do you think should be the starter? You'll see Johnny Manziel's stats from the simmed game, which are a lot better. But once again, you got to think the sim plays it like it's actually 15 minutes per quarter. So if you guys want me to increase the time, let me know that in the comment section below as well. Jalen Hurts was our leading rusher this game with 17 yards. Cam Meredith on 2 wide receiver, I can't remember the wide receiver end around stuff. Alex Collins was our leading running back, but Ray Rice hit more, and you'll actually see what Ray Rice did in the receiving game, which is why I really liked him in this. 4 for 46. Jake Fisher had a catch. Clive Walford had a catch. We need more production out of our wide receivers, bottom line. We had our second highest offensive lineman give up 2, but that was to Darius Smith, and then Brian Allen gave up 1 to Kenny Clark. On defense, Josh Norman obviously proved why he was on this team. He made a bunch of huge plays and stops in the backfield for us. Even though it shows 1 TFL, he did have a huge third down where he stopped the guy short of the goal line. We had 1 sack from Malik Jackson. We had no interceptions. We didn't get a chance for be different, just because they play it like 15 minutes per quarter. So Johnny Manziel had a lot better of a game. 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He was sacked 3 times, and his completion was 22 for a 36. Rushing the ball, once again, no success. Alex Collins was our lead back. We didn't have anything from our quarterback play, Ray Rice and Eddie Lacy. And then Clive Walford was our leading receiver, followed by KJ Hill. And then on the touchdowns, we had Kiki Kute living up to that number 1 wide receiver, 4 receptions, 49 yards, and a touchdown. And Jake Fisher, our backup tight end, coming in and getting a 1-yard touchdown. Blocking, Brian Allen gave up another sack, and Kirkland gave up a sack. Defensively, LJ Fort was a tackle machine. We had a lot of TFLs in this game. 2 from LJ Fort, 1 from Alonzo, 1 from Alden Smith, and 1 from Malik Jackson. We also had 3 sacks in this game, 1 coming from Fort, one from Aldon Smith, and then Alonzo and Raheem Moore splitting the sacks. We had no interceptions. I'm really sorry about the recording. Like I said, it was a lot of completions to Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. They didn't run the ball very well against us with Aaron Jones. Before the final play, Aaron Jones had 12 carries for, I think it was 26 yards, and then he broke off one at the end of the game with time expiring, but Josh Norman stopped him on the one. That was another huge play he made. But now we have players returning from injury like Martavis Bryant, Tim Tebow, lost Malcolm Smith in the first game to a foot fracture. So as much as we like to see one of our veterans go down, he was playing very well for us. We hope for a speedy recovery because we have 3 divisional games in the next 4 weeks, and I'm going to have to decide between Jacksonville and the Colts on who I want to play. I'll probably play the Jacksonville game and sim the Colts game just because next episode we'll be facing the Colts. And I'll go through and do my scouting and fix these player contracts, and I will also fix the numbers. But I thank you all for watching. Sorry about the recording. Continue BooLin, playing out.